Hello and welcome to Anatomy of Family. I'm your host, Melanie Studley.
What's up, my friends? My name is Seth Studley. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. Welcome to Anatomy of Family. We're calling this one Back to School, so let's dive in.
All right.
So, like 2 seconds right before we hit record, our crazy daughter, who is a real amalgamation of our own personalities, was like making a sound and closing the door, and then went, oh, like when she went out of view, and it was just the funniest thing. We're like, what are you doing?
The whole time
right?
she was walking.
So I think it's like, I love those little moments of like, oh, wait a minute, you're funny just like me, you're funny just like her, and you're putting your own spin on it, which is super adorable
Our kids
and
are crazy.
cute. Yeah. So, okay, what's today's topic, Mo?
Back to school. We want to talk about how to go back to school well as a team that is a family that has a goal and wants to like rock the school year.
Right.
It's obviously going to be a weird, little different school year for most people because we've got COVID stuff we're still dealing with. But I wanted to scoot over. I wanted to talk about the idea of how, like, what systems we need to have in place. What stumbling blocks do we typically hit in the school year? And how can we just like rock the socks off of having our kids back in school and making it a good team effort? I am saying team effort because for a lot of parents, myself included, the burden of this school year crap falls onto me.
Right.
And I ain't doing that bullshit no more.
Oh.
So this episode is partially to like hit it home with you.
Hit it home like a team episode. So is this episode just basically you're talking to me? Well, okay, let's think about, there's a lot of different stuff happening. I'm home more, right? There was like a reason for me not doing stuff because I was like working 40
no,
plus
you just
hours
were
out of
not self-aware.
No, that is not true.
It's a big
I'm
part
to push
of it.
back on you. Some
You
guys
may push back all you like, but I don't think you were aware. So here's a good example. You would sometimes send the kids to school. Like if I had anything in the morning where I wasn't there, I'd be like, so what did the kids eat for breakfast? And be like, well, Mariner said he wasn't hungry. Like, oh, great. So
Right.
when I get a call from the nurse at 11:45 because my kid barfed because he's so hungry, now what? Thanks for nothing.
All right.
So you weren't aware.
Right. Okay.
And you had a 40-hour job away, whatever. 40-hour-a-week job.
Oh, yeah. And that other thing, right? So,
But I think you
yeah.
did lack self-awareness in that area.
Yeah, there was some, right? But also there are legit reasons for that. But it's looking different now for us because I'm home more. Of course, we're all going back to school, like, right? COVID restrictions are lightening up, which thank you, praise the Lord in heaven forever and always. The kids are going back to school, so we're essentially going to have more working hours, not being like interrupted here, interrupted there kind of
Well,
thing.
and they'll have friends and
Right, but they'll have
good
friends
for
and stuff.
everyone
It's good for everyone.
in our world.
But the point of this is to really dial in what, first of all, we're casting a vision, right? All the time we talk about what's the
Right.
shared vision for our marriage, for our family, for ourselves. So this time we're talking about shared vision in the context of family. This is Anatomy of Family this time. So I want a well-oiled household where people value relationship, where there's consistency, and there's support and love and good boundaries, right?
How does that happen?
How does that happen?
Practically, not theoretically.
Right.
I am putting Seth to the test here because Seth ain't never created no kind of well-oiled household. So I'm curious as to what you think
Is
it
this
means.
a Bash Seth episode?
No, it's just it's a curiosity episode.
A curiosity
What does it
episode.
take to create a well-oiled machine around family schedules?
Consistency.
Which is consistency in what?
For me, well, same things day in, day out.
What things?
Consistent breakfast, waking up, which our day starts at before we go to bed, right? So if we go to bed well at a certain time, brush teeth, lay out your clothes, all this stuff the night before, guess what it's going to do for the morning after, right? We're going to be set up for success. So consistent bedtime, sleep hygiene for the kids, for ourselves, also bedtime.
What
and
does sleep
evening.
hygiene mean?
Sleep hygiene means no blue light, no blue screens. You don't drink, caffeinated drinks or a ton of water before sleep. You have, you dim the lights. You kind of like prepare for bed. I just saw a thing, Tim Ferriss shared his evening routine, and it was a bit like kind of over the top kind of thing.
Yeah, he's a diva.
Right, because he's diva and he's single with no kids and whatever. But it works for him.
I
like,
meditate
okay.
upside down.
Right, for 4 hours
and
before I go to
take
bed, right?
shrooms.
Yeah, but the point, and it doesn't matter, sure, he can do all that he
Right.
wants, right? That works for him, so what works for us? Like, okay, first of all, parents have to lead the charge on that, An 8-year-old isn't going to go, oh, I need to get off my iPad or watching a show. It's time for me to go to bed. No, you have to lead the
Right.
charge on that, right? And one parent, well, ideally, both parents are on the same page. Sometimes one parent is going to be more on that than the other, kind of thing. So we have to be made aware and then take responsibility for it. So alarms help me a lot, like
Alarms for what?
to start the process of something. It never works if you're just like,
Start
oh
the
crap,
process of going to bed.
of going to bed. Oh crap, it's 9 p.m. Hey kids, stop your stuff and go straight to bed. That never works, right? So setting an alarm, a pre-alarm at like 8:15, if bedtime, in bed, covers on, lights off, all the reading, all the stuff is done. Set an alarm at 8:15, like, all right, start preparing for bed. Dim the lights, like, hey, go put your J's on, let's brush teeth. If you want us to read a story, then we'll get in bed.
Right.
I like to talk to the kids sometimes at night, and just kind of hang out. That's always fun. Things like that. So that would be appropriate sleep hygiene.
And that is also obviously healthy for you as an adult to have these sleep hygiene practices of setting an alarm for yourself so that you're not just staying up for hours doing things that you didn't really mean to do. But, well, I just forgot to set an alarm. So here I am at 1 a.m. and I haven't, whatever. So I want you to think of this as like a holistic, it's a whole family vibe, right? And it will help you. So what other systems do parents need in place?
Why are you smirking at me over here?
Because I literally have done this alone.
Alarms help, and then also consistent calendars. Google calendars.
So
shared family calendars.
yeah, I want to tell you what we recently did. I have been tormented thusly my entire life about calendars because I've never wanted to use a digital calendar. I like paper calendars, but they can't keep up with my digital world.
Right.
And so I want to get one of those like electronic wall calendar vibes, but I want to try it out first before I see if I would actually want to like spend the money for a real one because they're not cheap. But I bought on Amazon, they have wall mount iPad mounts, and like even they're like for cell phones or iPads. It's basically just like a little slot that you like 3M hook to your wall and your phone or your iPad sits in it. And our kids all have iPads because when COVID hit, we needed them to have like things to art stuff, and then we got them all their drawing, whatever. So they all have iPads. So basically I'm calling it like the command center in our house. It's on this little wall thing right in the kitchen. And so I mounted an iPad. Again, you can take it out of the stand. It's just these little mounts so that it's constantly, the Google Calendar is up. The Google Calendar attaches to their Google Keep, my Google Keep, that I have created tabs for each of their chore charts.
Right.
And you can customize them, and it's hilarious. So I put a photo of, what is it, like a Naruto? Like one of our kids loves Naruto. And so it's like a little GIF thing or a meme. I don't even know what the difference is, but it's like my mom strangling me when I didn't do my chores. And it's like this crazy, anime, blah, Naruto thing. So that's for one of our kids. And then our other kid, it's a airbender. And it's the same thing. It's like when your mom asks you to clean your room, and it's like he's running through the thing. And then for Hattie, it's a bunny with sunglasses, which is adorable. And so I took their basic chore chart that they've done for a very long time. It used to be on like a whiteboard, erasable whiteboard thing. And I just digitized it and made it custom. So different colors, different photos, and it lives right there on our iPad on our wall because I need things to run like a very tight ship or whatever the word is. Because I want this school year to be excellent, right? And the kids, we just discovered, get on the bus at 7 a.m. and they get off the bus at like 2:45 or something, which is bonkers. Our kid was still asleep at 10:30 this morning. So it's going to be a tricky one.
Teens sleeping a lot. But
that means that I need to have all of my ducks in a row to make sure that they can wake up as late as they need to, eat food, know they have snacks at school, and have their bags packed, have their lunches ready before they go to bed, right? And so that calendar, the Google Keep, like all of that stuff is we are designing that system to help make the maintenance of the daily routine as seamless and smooth as possible.
Right. Routinization. Routinize, right? Like when we worked at Starbucks, what was one of the sayings there that we both loved?
Routines? I don't know.
No. Set
yourself up for success?
Set yourself up for success,
but it
right?
would set your partner up for success.
Right.
Like when someone would come in, they were called partners. So like your other employee comes in, you
like a shift change, or especially if we were working the closing shifts or something. It's like, okay, all the stuff
You prep it for the
ready.
morning team.
Right, for the morning
And set
team.
them up for success. Yeah.
Right. So what we're talking about is getting a running start here. And even for our own routines, like our grown-ass adult routines, I always have more success when I prepare for the next day at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:15, the night before, right? Clothes. There's all kinds of positive reinforcement stuff around there. Like, oh, you want to start running? Get your running shoes and put them on, right at the foot of the coffee maker kind of thing. Oh, my socks and running shoes are there. That's a reminder. There they are. I don't have to go look for them. Do I have clean socks or all kinds of stuff? So you want to prepare and prep yourself for the next thing. Wisdom does now what you're going to be thankful for later, right? So it's wise to put my running shoes there right in front of the coffee. It's like, oh, coffee, then run, all this stuff. And we're getting to a point where we have to routinize this stuff. We have to systematize this stuff, because if not, we're going to be running around with our heads like a chicken with their head cut off.
Right.
And then that goes down river, right? We're creating the family of origin for our kids right now. So what is their normal going to be? Like, you just go, oh crap, the school bus is here. Eat breakfast, put your shoes on, wash your face, run.
Right.
Or is it like, oh no, of course the school bus is going to be there. That's predictable.
Right.
So what are some things that are predictable that I can put into place to where I can walk down the driveway? I don't have to run 100 miles an hour with my backpack flinging and all that stuff. So we want to set ourselves up for that success. In turn, we're setting up our kids for success in that way.
And I want to talk about how, like, our kids' school starts September 1st. So I don't know when you're going to hear this, but there's a little bit more time for us here on the West Coast. And so this preparation touches everything. It's not just, what do they have for school? Do they have their lunchbox, right? That's one element of it. But if you go upstream or whatever, like you go farther upstream, upriver, to see how does the layout of our kitchen impact the ability to make meals in lunch boxes, where you have to set them all out. We've got 3 kids, 3 needs for lunch boxes, and they need ice packs. They need water, I have, actually my mom is coming over in an hour, and she's going to help me go through our kitchen to get that stuff set up. I do that every year though. Like, it's nothing new. I'll have a station where, like, all of the lunch boxes go, where all of the water bottles go that are for school, right? And this is just a practical tip to whichever one of the parents, or if you're doing this as a team, create stations. This year I'm going to do a bucket system where there's like a not a rubber, you know what I mean? Like a rubber bin kind of a thing, Rubbermaid box thing that their lunch boxes and their water bottles go in, because in cabinets, they fall out. Like they fall over, they fall out, they get weird, they fall onto the whatever. And it's really annoying, and they take up a lot of space. So I want them to be in a bucket that I can move. And we have a church bench in our front entryway. And I had the best idea this morning when we were walking out to come record. We have IKEA out here. It's like 20 minutes away. And you know those things they look like the recycling container things. They have like a tilted front.
Oh, yeah.
They have like a lift up lid. It's like, dude, we could put those under the church bench if they're the right size and have them be like the dry good pantry snack crap that you put in your backpack.
Snack
like
boxes.
Pretzels, like whatever. But they it looks nice. They're not in a cabinet with, I hated so much during the school year being like, well, this is a cabinet that normally has like my rice and pasta and whatever. But now it's like 10,000 fruit snacks, 9 million, golden fish crackers or whatever they are.
Yes,
and so
golden fish crackers.
Golden fish crackers is what most people call them. golden toasty fish crackers.
Yes.
So I'm moving that that part of the setup over to the church bench if I can make it work, so that the kids can preload their stuff. It's literally like you're just grabbing one from each bin,
right?
And then you're putting it in there. And I want the kids to do bento box meal prep with us. I think we would rock that. Like if we did it as a family and we said, okay, on Thursday nights or whatever we want to do, we're going to like make these pre-made. It's like meal prep, but more like just like one step farther. So you make 5 chicken breasts, cut those up, and then it becomes 10 meals. You know what I'm talking about?
Just keep it in the fridge and then boom, there they go.
Yeah. And it's for us too. Like it's meals for everyone. But I think that if we had our collective minds on it, it would be way better than how it's currently running now.
So tell me, what's the overall vision of all this? Like if I was like, what are you talking about? What's the even point of this? Tell me.
Efficiency, and also efficiency that is geared toward like the highest quality of life and success in this season,
Mhm.
right? I want my kids to eat well. I don't
Right.
want them to eat just golden fish crackers.
Right.
I want them to have healthy meals that make them feel well. But I also don't want to be like up at 5 a.m. like, where's the corn? I don't have the rice for the like.
Right.
I don't want that.
So if you say yes to efficiency and these plannings, what are you saying yes to, like family wise?
More time, more like quality time at the end of the day, especially like when they come home from school. If they haven't had a really good lunch that day, our kids are like all sad and hungry.
Hangry.
And they cry. Like that's the thing. And then that makes them doing any homework basically impossible.
Right.
Because their brains are like so fried and they're hungry and there's no order to things. So my goal is, again, to run like a really tight ship. Like we have, and I've been working towards that goal for years, right? They've always had chore charts that I've made, not store-bought ones. Like I would custom make them, laminate them, hang the, I use the Canva design website, and it's been amazing. And so my goal now is that they're slightly older, they're more skilled, they're more autonomous, they can do things on their own. They don't need me to do everything for them. So how can we set them up like set your partner up for success vibes,
Right.
like get your bed made so that we are not doing things like fighting over a big messy bedroom on a weekend, crying about having to do homework. Like we're just creating a system where they are accountable to themselves and to the overall
I'm glad you said
team.
accountable to themselves, because there's this thing about accountability, like, oh, I have to have an accountability partner and this and that and that. But you can have all the accountability partners in the world. If you're not accountable to yourself, then what does it matter?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, I don't even care what I tell myself. Why do I care about Joe Schmo kind of thing?
Right.
So I'm glad that you said that. So going upriver, and I'm kind of like being a therapist here, what else does that do for you? Like if, okay, there's efficiency, there's routinization of
Just
stuff.
tell me what you're trying to get at.
No, it's just a conversation. So
Is it?
how does that, what implication does that have on like the marriage relationship, right? This is anatomy of family,
Right.
So it's not just about kids, it's about family. So what does that do for you and I?
Well, it makes it so that we can enjoy one another or
Right.
enjoy things more. So a good example is going to sound weird, but like when we were on vacation, like if you had, and I'm not trying to bust you or anything, but it's like even something as simple as putting sunscreen on my pasty white children, like if you had helped me, that burden would have been halved, right? Takes a long time. Like the kids never want to do it. So if we had had a routine of teamwork on that, I could have enjoyed the Bahamas more. I know that sounds stupid, but it is absolutely true.
Right.
Like if I'm the only one like on the lookout for that kid's going to get a sunburn, they don't have their sun shirt on, they don't have their flip. Like if I'm the only one parenting, then you're enjoying your vacation, but I'm not.
Right.
And that is not, I mean, raise your hand, moms, if you can attest to that or have been there or
But if
whatever.
you're not enjoying it, then that will affect my enjoyment.
Oh, and it's all about you.
No.
And
I'm saying
you're drinking
it's
a beer and snorkeling, but I don't want to make you mad.
It's all cyclical, right?
No, I know. And so
it's all connected.
So again, it's a little bit of work on the front end. Sometimes it's a lot of work on the front end, but the return on investment is worth any amount of minutes it takes you to prep a hot dog, to prep a lunch, a lunch box,
Right.
or homework hours or any of that stuff. And it requires, again, like saying no to things that normally like, oh, well, I want to just sit here and watch, like say yes to the dress for 9 hours. Like, I got it. I get that. But if you just took 40 minutes to do this other thing, it will allow you to have all of these. It's the ROI is just huge.
Right.
Like and I want people to start thinking of it in that way. And again, too, to have a vision for what you want for your school year, for your kids. How do you want this year to feel? They're back in school. Like all of the things, I want to set everyone up for success. And then on top of that, we're running a business. Like this is all new for us. And so a part of me is like, if I want to level up in my business, I have to level up in my parenting. There's no two ways about it.
Well,
like,
yeah, it's all connected. And like, not only this is back to school for us, COVID kids are actually going back to school full time now. Thank you again, Jesus and the angels. I am not working outside of the home as much either. So, how we, because this will really affect us. And I always say like all things are connected. Let's go upriver kind of thing. So the more success that we have in systematizing all of our kids' stuff, setting them up for success, that is going to have a dividend to us of like, oh, their lunch is taken care of. I did it all on Thursday. I'm not thinking about that when I can go speak to clients or create content or do these other things. And then so that affects this affects that, and then overall. So let's
It's
talk.
like an insurance policy. It's like having
That's a
like
good
you're
point.
paying into something that will help you.
You're investing.
Yeah,
in that.
you're investing in that.
And you get a dividend later.
What were you gonna say?
Right. Well, I was just gonna let's give like a handful of real practical tips. So, Seth and Melanie, this sounds great. Okay, blah blah blah. So where do I begin? Where do I start?
I'll tell you the first thing that you do. Okay,
This
is a huge one, I think, for parents, the stay-at-home parent in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Get your spouse's email onto those flippin' school. Like Seth used to not get any of the school emails that I got. Who knows why? Lord only knows why. And I was getting so many emails a day that I'm like, I cannot keep up with any of this. You need to get your name on the flipping email thing. And so he did. I don't know even who you called or whatever he did, but he got his name on that. But even before then, I would say, which I wish that we could go back in time. Well, we could probably do it now. Is I wish that we had like a Gmail account that was like family, just our family,
Right.
that all of the emails went to. Because I am not interested in trying to like weed out, where's the email about the field trip to the bog? I have to find the bog field trips.
The bog.
There's a bog out here that I have gone on 2 field trips to. It's actually really cool.
Yeah.
But like that kind of thing that I wish, and if you have littler kids, I really recommend doing that right now so that all of their school information can get sent to that email. And if you're going to tell me, we don't want to check another email account, you're an idiot. You are an idiot. And get another email account. All you got to do is toggle down.
Right.
And voila, your entire child's school world is categorized for you.
Or you can just create that email, then forward it to your
there's
thing.
a million things
like
that you
it'd
can
be
do.
studleyfamily@gmail, or whatever.
Right.
The crap. And then that just
Thanks
goes to my
for telling
personal.
everyone our email address. Idiot.
We don't have that.
I know we don't have it. I'm just kidding. But now we can't use that one because pervs are going to email us. All you perv listeners. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But
They don't know
that's
if it's Yahoo or Gmail or AOL.
Hotmail.
Hotmail.
So that is, I think, step one is you got to get the communication part really dialed in. Like, are we all hearing the same communication? Do we all know when like field day is and picture day is and when we need to buy yearbooks and when we need to get backpacks and blah, 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 and the school supplies? That's number one. Were you going to say one?
Yeah. I was going to say declutter stuff.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm doing today.
Right? Declutter stuff.
Get rid of old clothes.
Okay, kids have, grungy shoes that they've been wearing in COVID for, 2 years, and you can't even tell if they have shoes on or if their feet are dirty. Throw those things away, right?
So all of our kids' shoes.
If you have a million lunch boxes or all this stuff, go give it to Goodwill or whatever. Have one of the thing, right? We have 1 billion Tupperware containers. Okay. Find the lids to those things. If you can't find the lid, if they disappeared in the yard somewhere, which probably happened, I could,
You mowed over it.
You mowed over it or whatever. Go do a whole revamp of that stuff, right? Invest in some good stuff. I'm not saying, go to the Container Store or IKEA and, spend $1,000 just because kids are going back to school. No, get a small set of like, hey, Hattie, this is yours.
Yeah.
Hey, whoever, this is yours. Maybe get 2 each kind of thing so you have a backup if one gets lost or whatever like that.
Make sure they're stackable.
Right.
Like they minimize down.
Think about it this way. In your own business, in your own career, how you run a house, how you run anything.
I have 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes. Then when you get good stuff, this is funny because it's about the Denise Duffield Thomas book.
Oh, yeah.
When you get good stuff, it puts you in a framework. And I'm not saying you got to go get the best of
Is
everything.
it Get Rich Lucky Bitch, that one?
Yes, it is.
Such a
I
good
wasn't
book.
going to say the word.
Oh, I
it's
am.
a family show.
Oh, no.
That changes your mind around stuff. So if you need to do that. Declutter all the crap and then tell me how you feel after that. Like, oh, okay. You know, like getting a good folder, right? Like I had this leather folder that has all my stuff and I got a different one and you use my other one. You know what I'm saying? It feels different than just some weird Trapper Keeper from 1983, that has
I would
dog
prefer
ears.
that.
Well, I know, probably most of us would, I guess. But it really feels different. If you have a crappy storage system, go to IKEA, like you were talking about the dog food things, and like, okay, spend $6 on each one. That's going to have dividends of like, oh, get a snack here, get your thing there, get your thing there, your lunchbox goes here, boom, baby.
And know that it will take maintenance, like label things so that everyone knows where to put stuff. But seriously, as a team, this is the thing I hate the most when it comes to like raising kids and the school years of stuff, is that I would have like a bin that said, golden fish crackers. And Seth would be like, I think this is where all the pasta goes. And just like dump it in there. And I would explain to him, like, this is the cabinet for the lunchboxes. And he would just like ignore it and put, cans of tuna in there, which, good Lord, how many cans of tuna does one man need?
Omega-3s.
Omega something. So you have to understand as a unit, as a husband and a wife, as a couple, as a whatever you are, that if you have put these in place as a trying to do something that is wise for the future, blah, 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 you must maintain it. You cannot just like, I don't want to do that this time. Like work hard to make this happen because it's going to make a huge difference in your life. There was another one I was going to say. I would emphasize be as organized and communicative about your organization as possible all the time. So again, get that Gmail account or whatever, a shared family email
account that's tied to everything school, sports, whatever.
But again, the reason to do it in a Gmail account is you can get a Google Calendar that you can mount your kid's iPad or your phone or whatever. Then you all have the same calendar. You can invite people to be in that calendar. All your family's looking at it. It's also attached to your email, so you can link email through that, the Google Keep and the Google Calendar and all the Googles. We need to have Google be our partners.
Right.
So, but we want to just really encourage you to take charge of this year, get ahead of this with a little bit of little tweaks, but a lot of intention can make it feel so much better. And we know this because we've been doing it gradually over the years. And I'm excited to see how it translates into our home feeling more restful, more peaceful, more relaxing, because we take the time to get the chaos out.
Right.
We get in front of the chaos so that I just thought of Loki. Now my brain can only think of Loki.
Well, think about it this way. I always feel better after I go to the gym. It's not necessarily what I wanted to do or get up super early, but I did it, and then the rest of the day goes smooth, right? So take the time to declutter, get the same email, whatever it is, however you can digitally and electronically be on the same page with your spouse, so not just one person is carrying the whole weight of things. So do that, declutter, and get some systems, and spend a little money if you need to.
Yeah.
Right? If you can't, okay, that's fine. I could build a bin out of scrap wood if I wanted to. Is that what we want to do? No, not really. But if it's the only option, I could do that.
And then use a cardboard box.
Yeah, you could. Then that would lend itself to more structure, more systematization of stuff. And yeah.
And we may or may not be working on some projects that are based on exactly what we're talking about. Keep your little peepers peeled for that in the future. Anyway, we love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have fun going back to school. And we will talk to you later. Oh, yeah. If you love our show, please rate it and review it on iTunes. I'm trying to hit 1,000 ratings. Oh, my goodness. We're so darn close.
So
okay.
close.
We love you.
All right.
Have a great
Bye.
day. Bye.